Am I the idiot for hiding from my mom that I'd been messaging her birth daughter? Sorry for the weird title. But when my mom, female 46, was 21, she was married to some guy in the States who was cheating on her when she was pregnant. She hated him and hated that she was having his baby, had a traumatic pregnancy, was really depressed and didn't like being a parent, then so signed away rights to Alyssa, female 25, some months after she gave birth. Alyssa was adopted by her father's affair partner and raised by her. My mom moved up north here to Canada, fell in love with my dad and married him when she was 30. She's had nothing to do with Alyssa besides demanding she never contact her again after she tried to. Last year my mom finally told me about Alyssa but made it clear that she didn't see her as her daughter and that Alyssa's mother was her father's wife. She also demanded that we not try to get them into any contact. So that's cool and all, but I was really fascinated by this idea of a sister I never had. So I secretly started messaging her, and even though she was hesitant at first, we've become good friends and I really want to meet her. She's also become really successful in her field and works at the University of Toronto, which is where I want to go. NGL, I really look up to her and would love to follow in her footsteps, and Toronto's a lot better than the city we live in. The problem was that I left my phone unlocked yesterday and my mom freaked when she saw that I was talking to her. She pointed out that she didn't want a reunion or me talking with her, that we aren't family, and doesn't want my siblings to know before they're my age. I felt really bad because she started crying a lot more than I'd ever seen before. My dad told me it would be okay, but he's the one who dropped me off at school even though it's always her, and I'm wondering if I was an idiot to hide me messaging Alyssa from her instead of being open about it. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot, just say this. Mom, I understand you have a boundary when it comes to her. I promise you, I will respect that boundary. I won't bring her up to you in any way and I won't push for a reunion. But please understand that this is someone who I genuinely look up to. I enjoy the friendship I have with her. I promise, she still won't be a part of your life. But please respect my decision. Comment 2. I'm super curious on how you plan to navigate a relationship with your mom and with your half-sister. Because when you get married, how will you invite your half-sister knowing your mother's boundary? Or will you force your mother to accept her presence? Or future children? Or is your half-sister okay with the idea of not being invited to life events? I get that it's not your job to help your mother through her very obvious trauma, and your mom does need some help talking about whatever happened. But I just can't help but feel like you'll be in a position one day where you'll have to pick between them. Then the original poster responded with, assuming all goes well between me and my sister, yeah, I'd want her there for my wedding and for my kids, and I want to be at her wedding whenever she has it. She doesn't want to see my mom any more than my mom wants to see her. I mean, this is like 10 years in the future, so I don't know what I'd do, but IDGF thinking about it right now, so I guess I just asked them to avoid each other. Now for the update. Hey guys, thought I'd update. First thing, I gave my mom a giant hug like my little sister does and said sorry, and she forgave me. Then I had a big talk with mom and dad about Alyssa. The first thing my mom asked was if Alyssa wanted to meet her. She seemed sad when I told her that Alyssa threatened to cut me off if I'd ever tried to make them meet. Then it got to what I wanted from Alyssa, and I said I just wanted to be her sister, to get to know her and be friends in real life and not just on the phone. I did admit that I wanted to go to pursue the field I told them of at UF because of her. I could tell my mom was getting a bit mad, but dad pointed out Alyssa is really successful, a good role model and a good mentor, and to deny me her would only hurt my future, so I had their permission. My mom did bring up the points that you guys did, like what if I graduate or get married and stuff. I admitted that I didn't know, but I'd find stuff that made it better or find different ways. I guess that hurt my mom, so she said it's will deal when it happens, but that she can work on her pain for me, and if Alyssa loves me she will too. I did have to promise not to tell my siblings, wasn't going to anyway, about Alyssa. Next time I talked to Alyssa, I told her that my mom found out we were talking and told her the whole mess that happened. She said she was glad that we could keep talking and it meant a lot to her that I want to be her sister. I told her what my mom said about me getting married, and she said they'd find a way and joked that she could just put on a balaclava mask for all events to avoid being seen. Well, on Christmas Alyssa FaceTimed and showed me a really pretty ring her boyfriend got her, and said she was getting married and my present was tickets to see her in spring break and an invite to her wedding in the summer. She did say if my mom said I couldn't go she'd understand. I talked with mom and dad and I can go as long as I can take my older cousin with me. He's 25 and has known all this for years, and according to Alyssa I can. She wants me to have a role in her wedding. Hopefully things aren't bad in March and I can go to Toronto. Honestly, since then it's all been great. I talk with Alyssa a lot more. She's gotten me into a game called Age of Empires, she's helped me with my chemistry homework, mom's been going to therapy about her and started training me in tennis. And on Friday I got the invite card to her wedding and it was written for me as, to my sweet little sister. I have to hide it from my siblings though. Comment 1. Glad it worked out for you and Alyssa, your sister who seems like a wonderful person. I hope when your siblings get older, they'll get the chance to build a relationship with Alyssa as well. Hopefully your mom will have a change of heart soon and stop punishing her children for things her ex did. Comment 2. Only thing I can say is prepare for backlash from your other siblings that you hid this from them. Comment 3. You're the idiot. This is just ridiculous. You are completely disregarding your mother's wishes and going behind her back to pursue a relationship with your half-sister. It's clear that your mother has unresolved trauma and pain surrounding this situation, and instead of showing empathy and understanding, you're actively defying her and seeking validation from strangers on the internet. Your obsession with your half-sister is disturbing. You claim to want to be her sister and follow in her footsteps, but you're just using her as a means to fulfill your own desires. It's selfish and disrespectful to both your mother and your half-sister. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for excluding my ex-sister-in-law and nephew from our family parties after she exposed my brother? So my brother and his ex-wife separated last year, and they finalized everything in their divorce recently. They have a 6-year-old son together, and I noticed my brother hasn't really been a part of his son's life since the separation the way he used to, and when I had asked him about it he said that she has full custody, and that's that. Since our family all have kids around the same age, we always throw big parties for them where we rent out a space and hire different forms of entertainment. We usually do this every summer, and once during the school year. It's always really fun, and throughout the years we've opened it up to our kids' friends as well, so it's always a huge celebration and like a mini carnival. We had to cancel the summer party this year because of a destination wedding, so we are having a huge party tomorrow instead. It came out last week that my ex-sister-in-law has a social media account where she's starting posting about how her and her ex-husband had to use a sperm donor because he couldn't have kids, and how that since their separation he disowned his son and doesn't want any relationship with him anymore. My sister's friends sent her the account, and she has a few thousand followers and like 10 videos talking about the process and answering people's questions. When we asked our brother about it, he already knew because someone showed him and was having multiple breakdowns because this was a sensitive subject he didn't want anyone to know about, and that she's doing this as revenge because he's not in his son's life. I was disgusted by the behavior. If my brother doesn't want to be in his son's life, he doesn't have to be. To expose a secret he hadn't even told our parents to the world was appalling. To my complete surprise, my sister-in-law had the nerve to message me a few days ago asking for the address to the party. I called her and told her that we know about her little account and that she and her son have no place at our party, and that she's disgusting for even asking. She told me multiple kids in her son's grade are going, and I told her that's not my business and to lose all of our numbers. She then had the nerve to post a video about our call, and multiple people in her comments have been calling me all sorts of horrible names and assholes. I didn't care since my entire family agrees that she or him don't go, but a student in my daughter's class, mom who must be friends with my ex-sister-in-law that's always attended the party, messaged me saying her daughter won't be attending because of my childish, disgusting attitude, and she will be telling others the same. I've been sick about that ever since. Am I the idiot? She did expose my brother's deepest secret. And also, this isn't a party you can just drop off. Parents are required to stay since there's multiple events going on, and we don't want to be liable, and we don't want her there. Now for a few comments before the update. Am I interpreting this correctly? Your brother and his, then, partner had a child together using donor sperm. Your brother now doesn't want anything to do with his child. If I am, then your brother is a massive arsehole for thinking he can just opt out of parenting. And you're the idiot for thinking his choice is okay. I don't particularly like what your sister-in-law is doing, but in my humble opinion, it pales in comparison to your brother's decision to walk away from his responsibilities to his child. Comment 2. You're the idiot for this statement. If my brother doesn't want to be in his son's life, he doesn't have to. That's some fricked up poop. Also for putting son in quotes. Really disturbing. Now for the update. I decided to give you guys an update since I did read all your feedback and your words. I decided it wouldn't be right to not let my nephew come at least, so I did contact my ex-sister-in-law and told her they could come. She said she didn't feel comfortable coming, but her mother would bring him since he really wanted to go. The party was on Saturday and went amazing. He did come with his grandma and everything went fine. I realized I was taking a lot of my anger on my nephew and ultimately hurting him, when in reality I was upset with ex-sister-in-law. Our family was choosing between our brother or his ex's family, and we all chose him, not realizing our nephew is still our family. The shock of not finding out he's our blood shouldn't have made us estranged from him. Our brother is upset we are still including my nephew, and his therapist said this shouldn't have happened, and we are wrong. It was hard telling him our choice to allow him in our lives since we agreed to leave my brother's past in the past, but my sisters and I are planning to sometime next week. He's under the impression we have no contact with either our ex-sister-in-law or nephew and says he doesn't want us to have any contact with either, saying when he's ready to date again it will drive a woman away that his family is still in contact with his ex and a child that's not even his. He would be furious if he knew our nephew was at the party with a member of ex-sister-in-law's family, but it's honestly not his business what we choose to do. It's a hard conversation we're going to have. Comment 1. What kind of therapist is your brother seeing? I don't think they would tell him to abandon his son, blood ties or not, and I don't think the therapist would say that anyone is right or wrong in this. Whole point of therapy is to work out the tangled mess in your brain and make it make sense, and hash out past and present traumas so that you can process them better. Also, if you notice, your brother's real problem with his son is that he's gonna make it harder for your brother to find someone new. Your brother really is the true idiot in all of this. Comment 2. You're the idiot. Are you serious? You caved in and allowed your nephew to come to the party? After everything you said about your brother disowning him and how your ex-Asile exposed your brother's secret? You are a complete hypocrite. Your brother made a terrible decision by abandoning his own child, and instead of holding him accountable, you're enabling his behavior by excluding your ex-Asile and nephew from your family events. It's disgusting and cruel. And now you're saying that your brother is upset and his therapist said you're wrong? Well, maybe he should be upset. Maybe he should realize the consequences of his actions and face the fact that he abandoned his own flesh and blood. But instead, you're more concerned about your brother's dating prospects and how your choices might affect his love life? That is beyond messed up. If you enjoyed today's video, you'll like these ones too. Thanks for watching and see you next time.